What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Switch Podcast. I am your host, Kejuannh Humphreys, and as you can tell by the title, today we're talking about them Denver Nuggets, man. Now, the Denver Nuggets have kind of been overlooked over the course of this season, but as of late, they've kind of reminded us of how good they are and how they are easily the favorites to win back-to-back NBA titles. Now, coming into the season, we knew, okay, the Denver Nuggets are bringing back almost their entire core from last season. Of course, they're going to be in the hunt to win the championship this year. But the way other teams have played, teams like the Boston Celtics, teams like the Timberwolves, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the way the Clippers have been playing when James Harden got there, the Nuggets kind of got put on the back burner in terms of light from the media. But ever since the All-Star break, they've kind of just reemerged to the scene. And to me, they clearly look like the best team in the NBA. They clearly look like the team that's going to go back-to-back. That's my pick to go back-to-back right now. So we're going to look at the Denver Nuggets. Looking at them right now, they currently have a 45-20 record. They're currently second in the West, only a half a game behind the top-seeded OKC. And that actually they may be tied now just because OKC lost a game last night to the Indiana Pacers. So they may actually be tied for first right now. Tonight they take on the Miami Heat in an NBA Finals rematch, so that hopefully should be a good game. But like I was saying, before the All-Star break, then we knew the Nuggets were a good team. We knew they were a really good team. We knew they were in the hunt. We knew they were a contender, but we didn't hear much about them. And I guess Jokic heard about that, and Jokic kind of saw, okay, he kind of told the guys, all right, let's lock in. So ever since the All-Star break, they have a 9-1 record, which is the league best. League best 9-1 record since the All-Star break, including a 115-109 victory against the Boston Celtics last week. Now, Boston is the best team in the NBA, and we felt like that may have been an NBA Finals preview. But the way Jokic dismantled Porzingis and dismantled that Boston Celtics defense, he just shows why me, along with a lot of other people, believe that he's the best player in the world. But Jokic's play, in my opinion, has not been the reason why the Nuggets have kind of played a lot better over the last 10 or so games. It's been the play of other players, the play of guys that had great playoff runs last year that did not get off to their best start this season, but now they're getting back to that playoff form. Starting with Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray had all-star aspirations coming into the season. He had a lot of expectations coming into the season after the playoff run he went on last year, but he was derailed to injury. He's missed 16 games so far this season. And even the games that he played after coming back from that injury, you can tell he really wasn't himself. He really wasn't back to that Jamal Murray that we saw last year in the playoffs. But ever since the All-Star break, he's been that guy. He's increased his scoring up to 24.1 points per game. Also, almost averaging 7.5 assists per game since the All-Star break. And that's important for the Nuggets in the playoff run. The whole thing with the Nuggets is that 1-2 punch, that 1-5 pick and roll between Jokic and Murray. If Murray's playing like that top 10, top 15-ish guard, then I don't see how the Nuggets could be stopped, because we know Jokic's going to do his thing. But can Jokic get enough help from his teammates, from his supporting cast, to run through a tough Western Conference this season and eventually beat whoever's going to come out of the East, whether it's Boston or Milwaukee or whoever else may come out of the East? We also got to look at Michael Porter Jr. Michael Porter Jr. is currently averaging roughly 16.5 points per game this season, but since the All-Star break, he's averaging 20.1 points per game and also grabbing almost 8 rebounds per game. Michael Porter Jr. was another big piece of that playoff run last year, and now he's getting back to being that sniper that we saw last year. That guy is that he has the ultimate green light. You get in front of him, he doesn't see you. He's going to pull over you no matter whether you're closing out, no matter whether you're contesting. He's going to shoot the ball over you, and it's going to go in. So if they can continue to get consistent play from Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., I don't see why they can't come out of the West and potentially win back-to-back NBA championships. So we talked about earlier how OKC and Denver may be tied. I'm not sure they're tied. The standings change every single day. But I believe they're tied right now for top in the West. But there's a really good chance that the Nuggets could take over that number 1 seed. The Nuggets currently have the 8th easiest remaining schedule, which means they don't really have to play nobody for real. They don't have as much tough games compared to the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have not who of course are dealing with injuries, but they have not fallen out of the race for that first seed. But I don't see the Nuggets slowing down anytime soon. We've seen this before with other teams in history. We've seen teams that compete and win championships that kind of coast through the regular season. And we saw that, I would say, through the first half of the season with the Nuggets. But now they know, okay, we know what it takes to win a championship. We know what it takes to lock down on defense, to execute well on offense. We know what it takes to get the job done. So let's do it right now. And they picked the perfect time to do it. Times when teams are ramping up, teams are making little tune-ups, little changes, little fixes to some flaws they have going into the playoffs. But the Nuggets have by far been the best team since the All-Star weekend. And I don't see them slowing down at all. But before I close this video out, I just wanted to say we got a lot of stuff coming. You know, March Madness is starting up. We're going to talk about both women's college basketball, because women's college basketball is going to be insane. You know, I know everybody heard about the LSU and South Carolina drama, but that's just a start. We haven't talked about Caitlin Clark. Nobody, I mean, people talking about them, but they haven't been, you know, the spotlight since that altercation in the LSU South Carolina game. But there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent in women's college basketball. I'm going to talk a lot about that with March Madness coming up. I have, of course, men's March Madness coming up, along with NBA playoff content coming up. So it's been a minute. We've been very inconsistent. It's been a couple weeks since my last video. The last time you all have seen me, it was actually a collaboration, the Give and Go show with 24 Hour Sports. I'm going to put the link to that video in the description. But we're back. We're back. We're gonna try to be more consistent, and we're gonna just bring more lit content, more talks, more hoop talk, more switch pop, more switch talk, everything. We're gonna bring everything. But until then, y'all take it easy. We out. Yeah.